Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday. But yeah, in today's video I'm going to be going over the best legends to use in ranked arena of season 15. So I'll just be making a tier list from F tier, C tier, B tier, A tier, and then S tier, and basically going over the metas of this season specifically, and how certain legends have shifted away from the meta or shifted into the meta. And obviously, as a console player myself, I'm not too keen in the PC meta, but I'm gonna be basically ranking the legends off my experience in the console, in console, as well as also some of my games I've played on PC. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and before further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, so the first tier is going to be F tier. So as you can see, Caustic and Ash are the two legends that are going to be in the F tier, and I'll be explaining why. So I think in the season 14 tier list, I actually put Watson in F tier, but after reading some of the comments and after, playing Watson herself in ranked, I realized that she's actually not as bad of a legend, but Caustic still remains in the F tier just because Arenas is a aggressive game mode, right? It's a 3v3 game mode where a lot of mobility is important. Having a mobile character to get angles, apply as much damage as you can, is going to be really important, and Caustic just doesn't do that with his big hitbox and his defensive playstyle. And I feel like he's way better off in the BR and not in Arena, just because the defensive meta, I guess, fits more into BR. And I'll be going over why Ash is like not really the best. The simple reason is her kit is just really expensive. So her Q costs 200 crafting, which is already really expensive. Like, you could buy a shield battery with that, as compared with a Pathfinder grapple you can get for 50 crafting, and with that one grapple that can help you push off certain damage, getting different angles. And her portal is just also an expensive version of any other mobility legend, like for example Pathfinder or Octane. And her ult doesn't provide as much to the team as it would with like one path grapple, because spending 200 crafting getting to one place when you could have done that with 50 crafting like a path grapple is a pretty crazy comparison, and that's why those two characters belong in the F tier. Alright, so next up is the C tier. And now the two legends in C tier are going to be Rampart and Revenant. So I'll be going over why these two legends are in C tier, and just for information, C tier are legends that it's not like if you pick them it's an instant throw, but I'd prefer my teammates to not use these legends because of two reasons. And one, it's because I see a lot of people just misusing that legend, and two, it just doesn't provide much for the team compared to other legends. So I'll be going over why Rampart is in C tier first, and then going on to Revenant. So why is Rampart in C tier? Now, I think Rampart has a lot of potential in terms of her ultimate, because obviously her ultimate can do a lot of damage at once, and if used properly you can basically kill the entire squad, right? But the Sheila is really easy to counter if you do use cover, because there's a tiny charge up time for the ultimate before it actually shoots. So if you can use cover to your advantage, then you can easily just go in and out of cover and wait till the Sheila charges. So when the Sheila's charging, you basically go into cover, and then when she stops shooting, you go out of cover and shoot him. It's really simple to just counter a Rampart. And her tactical, which is the shields, obviously Arenas once again is a aggressive game mode, and having mobility is going to be the most important thing in a legend. And I feel like Rampart's playstyle and Rampart's kit doesn't really fit into this meta. Her passive can be good in terms of LMGs, but once again, LMGs are not super meta unless it's the Devo. And even with the Devo, I don't think you need more than 48 bullets to actually like kill someone. I don't think that's like too important, like having like 1 extra second to reload or like 4 extra ammo. That's not gonna be a game changer between you winning or not, or losing. And now why Revenant's in C tier? So I think Revenant's kit can be used really well if you can buy the ult when you need to, use the ult when you need to, and it can be really dangerous. But I feel like a lot of people do not know how to use Revenant, and Revenant, obviously, it doesn't have any mobility, it can't take angles that well, and his tactical is probably the only good thing about his kit, because the ult takes 2 rounds to get. It costs 500 crafting, which is pretty expensive, and it can easily be counterable if you just use cover once again. Use your angle, use head glitches. It's easy to counter a Revenant that is not good. So that's why those 2 legends belong in the C tier. Alright, I think I said that those 2 legends were in C tier, but I meant D tier. So the actual 4 legends in C tier are going to be Fuse, Crypto, Mirage, and Watson. So I'll be briefly just going over why those 4 legends are in C tier. So let's start off with Fuse. So I think Fuse's abilities can be used well just because you can stack 6 nades, which is probably, I think, the best part about his kit, because frag grenades and air nading is a huge meta in Apex Arena as of right now, and hitting a 100 nade can be a game changer, because if you hit 200 nades, that's 200 damage and that's a insta kill. And I feel like in maps such as Phase Runner, Party Crasher, air nades are going to be really important to know, and the angles of how to air nade are going to be important, so the fact that you can hold 6 nades is a game changer. And especially on Phase Runner, if you guys do know the Arc Star strat on the portal side, there's basically a strategy where you can throw like 4 arcs onto the other side of the portal from your spawn, and you can stun all the enemies as soon as they go inside the portal. Check some of the videos on YouTube out if you guys haven't heard of that, but that's one thing about his kit. But I think the 2 other abilities, like his ultimate and his tactical, doesn't really provide much for the team. It's hard to use, and it's also expensive. Moving on to Crypto. So Crypto, I don't think it's a D tier legend, just because I think any scan character is good, because you basically have wall hacks on the enemies, and giving information for your teammates is going to be important. And I think using the drone to get this information is really good. But I think the only thing is, as soon as your drone is broken, you basically have no abilities, and you can only get the EMP, I think, every other round. So that's also just one bad thing about Crypto, is Crypto's not going to be that useful once the drone breaks. Even if the drone is there, you have to sit in your drone as you control it, so it's going to be hard for you to actually shoot your gun. And I feel like a lot of Crypto people just focus on using their drone instead of applying damage, taking angles, and that's why it belongs in the C tier. Alright, next up is Mirage. So I think Mirage is a very good legend. I think if used well, I've seen a lot of good Mirage players using their ultimate to bamboozle the enemy. I think one really good thing about Mirage is the invis res. So if you could buy the gold bag, that can come in really clutch, especially in the later rounds. But just because not many people know how to actually use Mirage, it belongs in the C tier. And finally in C tier is Watson. So Watson was in F tier in Season 14, but I've understood that Watson can actually take control of buildings, like for example ships and Party Crasher angles, really well. And I think that she's actually pretty underrated, because if you use your fences to stun the enemy, it can stun the enemy for a long amount of time, and the ultimate can be used really good to heal your enemies in maps like Habitat or Party Crasher on the bigger ship side. And that's why those 4 legends are in C tier. Alright, so the 4 legends in B tier are going to be Vantage, Catalyst, Wraith, and Valkyrie. So I'll be just quickly going over this because I don't want it to be like a huge long video. But yeah, I think Catalyst, actually no, I'll start with Vantage first. So I think the only good thing about Vantage is her ultimate in maps like Encore, where cross mapping is really good. I think in any map where cross mapping is good, Vantage is like where she shines, because her sniper can be used really easily. Because I think the sniper, like, even if you don't hit the enemy, if you hit like the enemy's like a rectangular hitbox, it registers as a hit. So I think that's one really good part. And how the ultimate's only 300 crafting when it has like 5 shots, that's pretty broken. And I think in terms of her tactical, I think Pathfinder Octane does it better, so that's why she's in B tier. In terms of Catalyst, I've seen a lot of good Catalysts in Arena, and I think her ultimate, the fact that you can get it every round, shines, and it's really good, because if you use her ultimate well, you can basically just like trap one person alone in that ult, and you know, if they go past the ult, obviously they're gonna get stunned. So obviously they don't want to, you know, go inside the ult, so they're gonna want to go around. So if you can catch them like going around, then that can be really good. And trapping enemies and separating angles is Catalyst's good point. But I think her tactical is completely useless. I don't think it's good at all. So that's why she's in B tier. I think Valkyrie is good for taking high ground instantly with her passive. You can basically fly around, move around, but I also feel like it's a self-centered character a lot because it doesn't provide much for the team. I think the Valkyrie is not the best. I feel like a zipline would do better, but obviously it does cost the same amount, so it does work. But if that's the only thing that she provides to the team, I think it's not really good. But she's a good she's a good character to use by herself because she has a lot of mobility and to play your life basically. And the final character in B tier is Wraith. So I think Wraith has always been in B tier for me. B tier is, I think it's a good place to put her in because her phase can be good to bait enemies to low ground. If you are if they think that you're the only one in low ground, you can just phase out as soon as they drop down, using her portal to get specific angles. She's a good character, but I feel like it's similar to Valkyrie where she's a good character to use by herself. She doesn't provide much to the team. Her passive is useless. Alright, so A tier is going to be the longest. There's 7 legends. It's Bangalore, Gibby, Lifeline, Loba, Newcastle, Octane, and Seer. So, I'm going to be putting these guys into categories. So, Lifeline and Newcastle are basically the same thing. Res characters are really good. Just in case your teammates make a mistake, they get aped. You can go for the insta-res with gold bag. Don't forget the gold bag. Always buy the gold bag. Even from round 1. I feel like round 1 gold bag is going to help even more than later rounds because the enemies don't have high level weapons, so they won't be able to one clip your Newcastle shield, or you can cover your teammates well in a lifeline res, and she's really crucial, can come in really clutch. I think Loba and Octane kind of do the same thing where they support the Pathfinder when he's grabbing in. So obviously Pathfinder is a must pick, and when you have a Loba or Octane on your team, you can instantly cover your Pathfinder when he's getting the bin. Or you can go for the crafting medals because those 2 legends are going to be the fastest mobilities legends to get the crafting because the Pathy is always obviously going to go for the bin. So those 2 legends are really good. Loba can be good to get heals on both sides using her ult, and her tactical is kind of like a mini grapple. And Octane similarly too, where Octane you can actually use it to push your enemies like the ultimate, and I feel like the passive healing also comes in clutch a lot. I think Gibby is a overall really good legend because of his dome. That it's basically like a 15-second out of jail timer, right? You just sit in your bubble, you heal. If they push you in your bubble, you bubble fight them, and you have the arm shield, so you obviously have extra HP and you should win the bubble fight. Good weapons to, combine with Gibby is shotguns, obviously. But I feel like his ult's really expensive, and it doesn't work as good as it does in BR in Arena. I think Bangalore is kind of controversial because it matters if you are good with playing with smokes, but I feel like in this close range meta, like this SMG, Mozam meta, a lot of digi threats are going to be used, and I feel like combining that with Bangalore is going to be good because for PC lobbies, if you're an MNK player, you can counter controller players with smoke because a lot of people are not good with no aim assist. And even in console. Alright, so the last 4 legends in S tier, so these legends are, I think if you use all these legends, you can win every game, right? That's these 4 legends, best legends. So those 4 are gonna be Bloodhound, Horizon, Pathy, and Maggie. So I think Bloodhound is a better version of Seer because his scan can be used really well for information at the start of the game. His ultimate is basically like having a digi threat because it can counter Bangalore fully, and having that faster movement speed is going to help you to push up better, to have a better or a higher ADS speed so that it's harder for people to track you in the ult. There's just a bunch of reasons why Bloodhound is probably the best legend in terms of scan because it's a huge scan meta right now, so I think Bloodhound's in S tier. I think Horizon is next because it's the best legend to basically do anything. You can queue up in the air to pop a bat, to get a better angle, and shoot at them from your Q. By the way, having 100% accuracy on the Q. And having way better movement in terms of when you drop down from a high place, you don't get the fatigue. You can use the Q to queue your teammates up to a safe position to res. And there's just so much stuff that Horizon does, And I feel like Horizon is also a very mobile character, because as soon as you need to back out, throw your Q, get back to high ground, pop a bat while you're in your Q, and just fully reset. And that's why Horizon's in S tier. With Pathfinder, I don't think I even need to explain why Pathfinder is in S tier. He's the perfect legend for arenas. You can use his grapple to get the bin, the materials, better angle, get in and out of situations, and his zipline can be used to get in the zone faster. There's just no, I think everyone already knows why he's the best character for arenas at least. And lastly, Mad Maggie. Now this might be a choice that most of y'all might not agree with, but if you guys have played PC lobbies at least like 5 times, you'll understand that every team has a Maggie, and the Mozam Maggie meta is still super duper annoying. And I feel like if more console players got used to and better at the Mozam, I feel like Maggie would be hella meta, because her ADS speed with shotguns is incredible. It's like untrackable, and just because Mozam is still a very good gun, she's still very meta, with her bob being able to hit someone for even 20 damage and stun the enemy for like 10 seconds, while having a tactical that basically forces people to move out of cover is crazy. Her kit is absolutely crazy, and it's really, really good, and that's why they're all in S tier. So if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to press that like button and subscribe. If you guys do want more of this, be sure to comment what you guys want, and if you guys do agree, disagree, be sure to comment that as well, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for watching.